once things were clicking, the Wolves won like 9 straight, something like that in December.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy gets hurt, and then you have to restart all over again. And Wiggins just had the worst year of his career. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with those 3.
Yeah, I thought Wiggins, again, just did not shoot the 3 well enough. I thought his defense was better. He still put up, I think, around 18 points per game with Jimmy and Cat averaging above 20 this year, I believe. So for Wiggins, here's the thing. In my mind, he's a number 3 on a championship team. And I just think people don't want to adjust to that. People don't want to move their expectations to that. Just right now, that's what he's shown us. And the problem is we paid him max money. And you really shouldn't pay your third best player max. Hopefully he turns into our second. Maybe if Jimmy leaves and Cat stays, who knows, maybe he develops. So we'll see. I hope so.
Yeah, this could be a long road ahead for Timberwolves fans.
So that's the West again. We'll get to the East next week, but now we're going to bring on our Bachelor correspondents, Mackenzie, Klimek, and Jess Vitale. We will throw it to our talk with them now. And now we again welcome on our Bachelor and Bachelorette correspondents. First time, but hopefully they're continuing guests for us, Jess Vitale, Mackenzie, Klimek. Ladies, good morning.
Hey. Good morning.
Okay, so we're going to start with, Mackenzie, you corrected me earlier. I called it The Bachelor. We're talking Bachelorette. Rick, what's up?
Well, they're longtime listeners of the show.
Yes,
they
are.
Also get that out there. Jess and Ken's.
Big fans. Big fans. Wait, of your guys' show or of The Bachelor?
Oh, okay, Ken. You know the answer to that.
Okay, ladies, do we like Becca? She's from Minnesota. I like her. I've only seen 2 Bachelorettes, but I'm impressed so far. What do you guys think?
I mean, I like her being that she's from Minnesota. I think it's like I respect her a lot more. She seems cool. She has the worst style of all time. Goes into the makeup. Oh my gosh! Yes. But I mean, I don't think she's awful. I've seen a lot worse. That's for sure.
I don't think she's awful. Okay. Ken's, what's your take?
Well, what's wrong with her style?
Well, her style's absolutely terrible. She just, I mean, I don't really know how to put it into words, but she just doesn't dress well. They're not cute outfits that she's putting together. And you'd think that someone would be helping her with that, but they're not doing a very good job either.
But she has all these dresses.
I mean, that's not really what it's about.
She always wears these like evening gowns. You're not a fan?
But she picks the bad ones. They look bad. Yeah. Like, let's go back to, like, JoJo or Caitlyn. Like, they looked amazing all the time.
Yeah, see, this never crossed my mind at all. Like, if they're pretty, I'm like, oh, yeah, you look good.
Yeah, I had no idea that. Is this, like, a thing? Is this, like, do people know that she doesn't dress well, or is this, like, an inside take that you guys have? Okay, no, this is widespread news.
Thing. No, it's a thing. It's a very big thing.
It's a thing. So is Bachelorette and Bachelor also a thing to where how sports is a thing for guys, you know? Like, guys follow sports, love sports a lot. Would you kind of compare that for girls who don't care about sports as much?
I would say this is like my World Series going on right now. I mean, there's fantasy bachelor, fantasy bachelorette.
Yeah, you can do brackets. Yeah. I did a bracket.
Yeah, you make brackets. It's real. I mean, it's kind of cheating because you can know who wins if you want to, but
if you like, it's go out there on the dark
if you
web.
Want to participate.
Oh my God.
So wait, how's your brackets going? Do you guys have a bracket going out right now? Or
I did not make a bracket this time.
Yeah,
I didn't make a bracket either because I know who wins. I think it'd be kind of pointless.
Okay, well, no spoilers on the flow. We can't do that. Who are your guys'
spoiler alert?
Who are your guys' favorite dudes so far? Because I have a couple, but I want to know what you guys think.
For Becca or for actually show purposes?
Jess said she loves Blake. Is that what you said?
Blake's good.
Yeah.
Is he the guy that rode the horse? Is he the horse guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's all right.
He's the Bachelor.
But I'll go on. But on this last episode, he was kind of soft, Jess. He's like, oh, I've lost some of my confidence. You know, I don't know how. And that kind of, I don't know. I was a fan of his, and then he showed a little bit of weakness. And I think it's a little early on in the show to be kind of pulling out the emotional card. That's my take. Am I wrong?
No, I think that's, point well taken, but I just feel like everybody, all of a sudden, all those guys are like crying. They're like,
I know.
Each other. It's kind of like, it seems like it's an emotional process. So I don't know. I think from the outside looking in, it's like, oh, he's being a baby. But I think I was in that situation, I'd probably be crying on day one. Like, what am I doing? So I don't know. I can't really fault him too much for that.
Ken's, who's your favorite so far?
Well, for the show's purpose, I love the model. Is that Jordan?
Jordan. Oh, my
okay,
God.
I love him. He's kind of like, I don't know. I just love people like that on the show because that makes it worth watching. I mean, you don't really care too much about the love stories yet.
No.
So I love him. I love the people with the crazy entrances, stuff like that.
Didn't someone enter on a hearse? What was up with that? Is that accurate? I don't know if I...
What'd you say?
Didn't someone enter on a hearse, or wasn't there some kind of weird entrance like that, related like that?
Yes, there was like a weird line that went with it.
Wasn't he
I don't remember though.
Because I used to work at a funeral home, as you girls know, and I would never like open up with that line. My go-to line was, "We put the fun in funeral." But you just don't start off like hey, this is.
It's a pretty somber note to begin a relationship, breaking it down to the very end in the beginning. That's probably not a good strategy.
Yeah, if someone ever presented me with it, I wouldn't really know what to think or how to react. I think that would be very awkward.
So a big part of the show is first the big first entrance, right? And first appearances. Does that in real life dating? How big is the first appearance in your girls' life, or at least like when you meet somebody, like first meeting? Does that really matter?
I kind of think so. Like it either leaves an impression. I mean, if it's a very average, like, oh, this is my friend, whoever, then you don't really think twice about it. But if someone's storming in a room and coming off as, I don't know what words you can say on this podcast, but if they're coming
everything,
off as a rude
you can say
person,
everything.
Then then obviously you're going to remember that. Or if they're like super sweet and they're really like engaging with you, then you're going to remember that too. Obviously, you're not going to be coming in on a horse most times, but you remember the smaller things, if it's good or bad.
And I think, like, even if you meet someone for the first time and say, for instance, they smell or they're, like, really drunk, so then, like, the next time you see them and, like, they don't smell and they're sober, you're just like, this is the kid that I met last time and he breathed.
Exactly.
Yeah, it probably just kind of tarnishes everything. The other thing...
Like, that's how you're going to talk about them to your friends. You're going to say, oh, that's the smelly kid. And they'll be like, yep, oh, I remember that story.
Yeah,
so it'll take a while for it to wear off. I mean, it's not everything, but it for sure matters.
So shower before you go out. If you're trying to meet.
Shower the first time you meet someone, but you can smell them the second time, and then you won't be the smelly kid.
Okay.
Right.
You'll just be the kid like
last time he didn't smell. I wonder what happened.
On this last episode, Becca, I think she kissed like 14 guys, and I was just watching this, and I'm just like, I know.
Oh my God.
What do you guys? I mean, I was taken aback. I'm like, this is insane. This is ungodly. This is unbelievable. What is happening? I couldn't believe it. I was shocked.
I was a little surprised too, but then I was thinking about, like, good for her. Like, I could never do that, but I'm glad that she has that confidence and that she's just, I mean, I guess taking advantage of the whole experience. I guess you have to kind of figure it out fast if you've been, like, attracted to them, or what if they're a really bad kisser? You're going to send them home. You got to figure that out soon.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait around.
That's huge.
Yeah, bad kissers can't stick around probably. But that's weird. Like, you're probably comparing and contrasting. You're like, oh, I like him. You're like, he's got kind of that bad breath. I don't want to... I'm staying away from him.
Like, what's going through her head?
Well, and she was, like, aggressive, though, too. I mean, she was seeking out these kisses. I'm pretty sure she kissed, like, every single guy that she had a one-on-one with. And I'm just thinking... that, and like literally you could see her lipstick wearing off as the dates go on. And I'm like, this is actually absurd.
Well, and like she didn't really even give them a chance to kind of go in for the kiss themselves, like make the first move. She just went in for it, which again is like good for you. But I also kind of think that maybe she should have like waited to see like they wanted to kiss her, which I'm sure they did. But I feel like the whole point should be like the guys making the move and kind of like impressing her, wooing her. But
I feel like in this situation,
I kind of respect her for it.
Kenz, do you agree with that, or do you disagree?
Well, I agree with the part, like, I mean, might as well kiss him. Like, you have to know, you don't want to wait 5 weeks, because then by then they'll be saying, I love you, and you haven't even kissed them yet. Like, you sort of have to. But...
riddle me this, Rick.
Yeah.
Do you want to make the first move when you're trying to kiss a lady friend that you're, like, newly seeing? Or if she, like, made the move to you, would you be, like, all about it?
Obviously context plays a key.
It's true.
In this show, you know, like, they're a little different, but in real life, I don't know. Is this third date and I haven't kissed her yet?
Yeah, third date. You haven't kissed her. You guys just got drinks. You're walking her to her car, but it's a long walk. There's a bench.
See, I'm feeling bad about myself if I don't make the move. So like I would have to make the move at that point. If I felt like it was a good time to do that, but based on our previous 3 dates and how she looked.
Yes, Ricky.
And
good for you.
And how the moonlight was shining on her hair.
How she
on her profile. Ricky, you just set yourself up for the future. I would love that. All right, so for you ladies, what date, first date, can you kiss? Or is that like banned? Is that like Satan? If a guy tries on the first date, you're like, this guy is a creep. I'm never seeing him again. I'm blocking him on all my platforms. But like Ricky said, is it contextual? Like, is it kind of a function of how the dates have been and like where they are and stuff like that?
I think you can kiss on the first date, absolutely. But if you're not feeling it, then you're not feeling it. But I think it's definitely allowed. Might as well.
I agree. Yeah. You definitely can. It's just like if you're at the neighborhood Applebee's at 2:00 for your first date for some reason, then probably not. It would just be sort of awkward. But I think all other things considered, if you had a great time, then yes, you should kiss on the first date.
Very interesting. So we're not going to Applebee's ever. That's off the list.
That's one of the things I've learned from this conversation.
Also, how big is like the meeting place for the first date? Are you girls trying to get wooed on the first date, or are you more just like, yeah, let's go for coffee? Or is that just too like, oh, he wants to take me out for coffee? What a weirdo.
I probably would rather go to like a public setting, like a bar, or like where there's like people around, so I'm not trying to like total like all the attention's on me, but and just I think it would ease the stress.
Because it is kind of stressful, a first date. Like, it's kind of one of those things you're like,
it's awkward, yeah.
You're kind of like performing. You're like, it's work. It's not easy. It's kind of work.
It's totally, it's an interview.
It really is. So
I agree with Jess. I like the public place, and I also just think like if you go out for drinks, then that can turn into a whole night. Then go out to dinner, then go somewhere else after if you're having a great time. But you can also say, "This is so uncomfortable. I never want to see you again," and you can just cut it after an hour of the drinks.
So what are like buzzwords? What do you guys not want to hear on a first date, or maybe even the first couple? Like how far is too far on a first date?
Well, I don't want them to tell me that they don't like me.
To start, okay.
I'm just kidding.
I don't think I'd care to hear about like past relationships unless I ask, and like I don't want to talk about mine either.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, like the worst thing, like I'm, like I get so sick of hearing like, oh my god, like why are you single? It's like I don't know.
Never drop that.
So like, don't ask that.
I would
question.
never.
And I feel like guys are like, that's like a comment, like I can't believe you're single, like. But it's also like,
it's actually like,
dick.
No,
like,
yeah, what are you doing?
What an asshole.
It's just like a reminder. I don't know, like you just don't need to hear it because you're like fully aware that you are, and that's obviously why you're on this date. So you don't need to point out the obvious. It is a compliment, I understand, but I think that's something that just shouldn't ever be said.
Should we go over worst dating experiences ever? Can we go there?
I don't know if we have the allotted time.
We have 3.5 minutes. Kens, can you give us a 34-second story of the worst dating experience you've ever had?
I wish I had like a really okay. So I was swiping right one time.
Giddy
and
up.
Swiped right, matched, whatever, chatted. He seemed really cool. I went to meet. It wasn't like a terrible first date story, so it's just like kind of annoying. And he was super, super late. We were just going to meet at a bar. Ooh. And I was like, whatever, why am I even waiting for this guy? But he seemed really cool, and he just wasn't at all. I sat down. We had absolutely nothing in common. And it was really, really uncomfortable. He made a comment about how I ordered the most like expensive drink ever.
Wow.
And it was like a $6 drink, and his was like a $2 beer. And it was just really embarrassing. And he didn't buy my $6 drink.
Oh.
And I never saw him again. It was terrible.
Yeah. I'm going to say PSA to all young people, guys, you pay for the first date. You just do. Yeah. I don't care if it was a mutual agreement. If they ask, you pay for the first date.
No matter what.
Back in your head, you're hoping maybe that on the third date, maybe they pick up the tab, show some loyalty. But hey, if they don't, whatever, it's all right. Jess, for you, do you have a bad dating story?
I wouldn't call myself much of a dater, but I know
she's got those Italian values.
Yes,
I got
purebred. Thank you, Jess.
I got you, Jess.
I would say that just like altogether an experience that I had was when people would kind of make comments about, like in the past, if I would like have ever talked to one of their friends before, if like